Welcome to Speak Your Mind, the podcast dedicated to helping you unlock your full communication potential. I'm Sarah, and today we're diving into a topic that is absolutely essential for anyone looking to truly master English. Stick around after the intro for our host, Maya, and her fantastic guest. And we are back. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on Speak Your Mind. I'm your host, Maya, and I'm thrilled to have a very special guest with us, Ben Carter. Ben is a language acquisition expert and an incredible coach who's helped thousands of people move beyond just knowing English to actually speaking it naturally. Welcome, Ben.
Thanks, Maya. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm really excited to talk about this because it's something I'm incredibly passionate about.
We're diving into daily habits in English. Learn to speak naturally. It sounds so simple, Ben. But what does speaking naturally actually entail? I think many people equate it with perfect grammar and a huge vocabulary.
That's a fantastic question to start with, Maya, because you've hit on a common misconception. While grammar and vocabulary are certainly foundations, speaking naturally goes far beyond that. Imagine you're talking to a native speaker. Do they sound like they're translating every sentence in their head? Are they halting, searching for the perfect word, or do they just flow? Natural means fluency, yes, but it also means confidence, a good rhythm and intonation. Using common idioms without thinking, and crucially, thinking in English rather than constantly translating. It's about expressing yourself effortlessly, conveying not just words, but meaning and emotion.
That makes so much sense. It's not just about what you say, but how you say it. So, if that's the goal, why are daily habits the secret sauce, rather than, say, a really intensive weekend grammar workshop?
Oh, absolutely. Think of it like this. If you want to get fit, can you go to the gym for 8 hours straight one day a week and expect to see results? Not really. It's the daily consistent effort, even just 20 or 30 minutes a day, that builds muscle over time. Language learning is exactly the same. Your brain needs consistent exposure and consistent practice to build those neural pathways. It's about transforming English from something you study into something you do every single day. Daily habits create muscle memory for your mouth, your ears, and your brain. They chip away at the fear of making mistakes, and they integrate English into the fabric of your life, making it feel less like a chore and more like a natural extension of who you are.
I love that analogy, building muscle memory. So let's get practical. For our listeners who are ready to incorporate these habits, where should they start? What are some concrete daily habits they can adopt?
Excellent. I break it down into 4 key areas: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And the key here, Maya, is small, manageable steps. Don't try to do everything at once.
Small and manageable. I like that.
Right. For listening, this is perhaps the easiest to start with. Instead of just listening passively, try active listening. For just 10 to 15 minutes a day, listen to an English podcast, a snippet of a TV show, or even a song. But here's the active part. Try to mimic a phrase you hear, or pause and summarize what you just heard in your own words. Shadowing, where you repeat what you hear almost simultaneously, is incredibly powerful for intonation and rhythm. You don't need to understand every single word. Focus on the flow.
That's smart. So not just putting on a podcast in the background, but really engaging with it.
Exactly. Next, and this is where many people get nervous, is speaking. My number one daily habit here is talk to yourself. Narrate your day. When you're making coffee, describe the process in English. I'm pouring water into the kettle. Now I'm waiting for it to boil. It sounds silly, but it builds confidence and gets your mouth accustomed to forming English sentences. You can also record voice notes on your phone, describing your day or answering a simple prompt. Another great one is to find an online language exchange partner. Even 15 minutes of conversation a few times a week can transform your fluency.
Talking to yourself. I think a lot of us already do that, just not always in English. That's a great tip for overcoming the initial fear.
Absolutely. Then we have reading. Again, keep it short and enjoyable. Read a short article from an English news site, a blog post, or even English captions on social media for 5 to 10 minutes. If you're feeling adventurous, read it aloud. This connects your eyes, brain, and mouth, reinforcing pronunciation and natural phrasing.
And finally, writing.
Yes, writing. This can be as simple as keeping a short daily journal in English. Just a few sentences about your day, your feelings, or something you learned. Or try writing a short email to yourself, or commenting on an English language social media post. It helps solidify vocabulary and sentence structure, and it gives you a moment to think and construct your thoughts in English without the pressure of immediate conversation.
These are all fantastic and, crucially, seem very achievable. But Ben, the big question is, how do we actually stick to these habits? We all know how easy it is to start something with great intentions and then drop off after a few days.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The first rule is what we discussed. Start ridiculously small. If 15 minutes of listening feels like too much, do 5. You can always increase it later, but the goal is to build consistency. Second, make it enjoyable. If you hate politics, don't read news articles. Read about your hobbies in English. If you love cooking, follow a recipe video in English. Connect it to something you already enjoy.
So don't force yourself to do something you dread.
Precisely. Third, use what's called habit stacking. Link your new English habit to an existing daily routine. For example, after I pour my morning coffee, I will listen to an English podcast for 10 minutes. Or while I'm waiting for the bus, I will read an English article on my phone. Fourth, track your progress. A simple checklist. A calendar where you put an X for every day you complete a habit. Or even a habit tracking app can provide a huge sense of accomplishment and motivation.
I can see how that visual progress would be really motivating.
It truly is. Fifth, and this is crucial for speaking naturally, be kind to yourself. You will miss a day. You will make mistakes. That's part of the process. Don't let one missed day turn into 2, then 3. Just get back on track the next day. And finally, consider finding an accountability buddy or joining a language learning community. Knowing someone else is on the journey with you, or that you're part of a group, can provide immense support and motivation.
That's fantastic advice, Ben. You mentioned mistakes, and I think that's a huge barrier for people wanting to speak naturally. The fear of sounding silly, of being judged, it can be paralyzing. How do we overcome that when adopting these habits?
Oh, the fear of making mistakes is absolutely universal. I tell my students, mistakes are not failures. They are feedback. Every time you make a mistake, it's information that tells you where you need to improve. Think about a baby learning to walk. Do they just stand up and run? No, they stumble, they fall, they crawl, but they keep trying. And eventually, they walk. Then they run. It's the same with language. Native speakers make mistakes all the time. We just don't notice them as much. The goal isn't perfection, it's communication. If you can get your message across, even with a few errors, you've succeeded. Shift your mindset from, I must be perfect, to, I want to communicate effectively. Embrace the awkwardness, because it's in those moments of trying and failing that true learning happens.
Embrace the awkwardness. I love that. It's so true. So, Ben, as we wrap up, any final quick wins or common pitfalls our listeners should definitely avoid?
All right, quick wins. Immerse yourself in English wherever you can. Change your phone's language settings. Follow English-speaking social media accounts. Listen to English music. Even these small exposures add up. As for pitfalls, first, avoid only passive learning. You need to produce the language, speak and write, to activate it. Second, don't compare yourself to others. Everyone's journey is unique. Your progress is your own. And third, don't wait for the perfect time or the perfect teacher or the perfect environment. Start now with what you have, where you are. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today.
Start now with what you have, where you are. That's a powerful message to end on. Ben, this has been an incredibly insightful conversation. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise on how daily habits can truly transform our English speaking skills.
My pleasure, Maya. Thanks for having me.
And to our listeners, if you're looking to speak English naturally, remember what Ben emphasized today. It's not about huge, overwhelming efforts, but rather consistent, small, daily habits. Think about making English a part of your everyday life, whether it's by actively listening to a podcast snippet on your commute, talking to yourself as you make dinner, or simply writing a few sentences in a journal. Don't be afraid of mistakes. They're just signposts on your journey to fluency. Embrace the process, make it enjoyable, and keep showing up for yourself, even for just a few minutes a day. That consistent effort, that muscle memory Ben spoke about, is what will truly help you think and speak more naturally in English. You've got this. Thank you for tuning in to Speak Your Mind. We hope today's episode empowers you to start building those daily habits. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast wherever you listen. Until next time, keep speaking your mind.